Good morning, Lafayette. It is great to talk to you this morning. I already have somebody in the chat that is awesome. I am your meteorologist, Brian Burden, with your forecast for today, and I call it a waiting forecast as we wait for the rain to come into the area today and tonight, it looks like. Ray, what's his first question already? Good morning, Brian. Let's talk Lafayette Men's Breakfast. Oh, yeah, the men's breakfast is Saturday at Innovation at 9 a.m. I hope the warm weather's here to stay, Ray is saying. Also, yeah, don't forget 9 a.m. men's breakfast at Innovation. Come on over. Everyone is invited and drop in and have some, I don't know, they're probably going to have some bacon and some all kinds of different things. I don't know. They have different food every time they're there, but some food will be provided because it's a breakfast, a men's breakfast. And Ray's going to be there too. You'll see him. You'll see me. We will enjoy our time. Maybe I'll drag the slingshot out. We'll have to see what happens. It's been pretty warm the last few days. Got it out there, but I'm not sure about tomorrow. We'll get into all those details coming up shortly, though, as we start to set up what's going to be happening for the next couple of days. I know what you're saying to yourself, Brian. You talked about rain this morning somewhere between 6 and 8 a.m., and it didn't happen. Well, the forecast changed, just like anything else could happen. And we're kind of closer to where you were on Thursday. Or Friday. No, today's Friday, right? Not yesterday, Thursday, but on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we saw a parting of the seas, I called it. Remember, you called that? Where the system got near us and then kind of split apart. That's exactly what we're happening today. Yesterday, the model kind of got a little more aggressive with it and put some more rain over us during the morning hours. We're going to take a look at it, though, right away, all right? Let's switch over so you guys can see what's going on here. And we're going to put out some of the forecast. The current temperature is 66. It's just off the chart here. I'm going to get all these sizes right here pretty soon, all right? 66 degrees right now, partly sunny skies. Scattered light rain showers are expected all day today. That is true. There is a possibility just about all day. You can see it's 67 in Kokomo, Fort Wayne 67, Joliet 65. And this thing is showing radar right between Danville, Kokomo, just off to our north. There's some rain there. Muncie's 67. We're looking for a high today of about 71, it says. And this is all dependent on how much cloud cover comes through, how much do we really get some of this rain with this system. I like the number 71, though, because it's a rebound afterwards. And the fact that if the rain has come in a little bit later, it may be a little harder to warm our temperatures up into the afternoon because the rain is in here a little longer than it was progged to kind of be in here yesterday. Then a couple really nice days. Saturday and Sunday look gorgeous. Temperatures in the low 70s, which is above normal for this time of the year. Even the lows, 48 and 53, are above normal for the latter portions of April. We should be somewhere around 43, 45. Let me take a look at it real quick. I think I got it. 46 by the end of the month. So that would put us at about 44 or 45 right now. So we're looking still to be above normal there. And we should be about 65 right now. So 71 is where you are topping out for the next couple days. Monday, even warmer, but that means probably dragging in some rain in there, right? That's what the possibility is there. Then we cool off for a little bit and we start to get back to near normal temperatures for a while. So let's get right into this. We got a lot of stuff going on around us. Let's take a look at the satellite. I just zoomed in. I didn't even go out to the big mode to talk to you guys about it today. But you can see, first off, this is a pretty complicated system, right? Obviously, you got all kinds of different things going on. You can see where the frontal boundary is. Now, the front is back here somewhere. These rain always pops up out in front of the frontal system. It's rarely like right under the system, but sometimes it is. So I would imagine that the cold front is just right back here somewhere. But you can see the parting of the Red Seas, as I talked about, right? All this rain down here, there's more rain way up here, and in between there's not much. But we are right here on the northern edge of the parting of the Red Sea. Right there we are. So you can kind of see, first off, the reds and the yellows look pretty intense. The good news is they're more intense down towards the south. Now, there's going to be a couple of factors that we have to worry about today. First off, since the rain's coming in a little later, maybe say noon for some people even, there's the possibility of more of an unstable atmosphere coming into the picture, and that just peaks our chance for a thunderstorm that's severe up just a little bit. We're still in a category, but a little higher today. We're right on the edge of it today, where yesterday it showed it into Ohio. Today it's showing it in Indiana mostly, and into Ohio. So we got a chance this morning when this line ever gets itself here to Indiana. You notice most of this is trying to go to the north. Most of this is trying to go towards the east right now, and that's where we're getting the spreading of the waves, or the parting of the Red Seas, I like to call it, because that's what it is. And Lafayette it just seems like we're always in that parting area. Well, today we might be on the northern edge of some of the rain. So you can see it. It's pretty intense, especially to the south. Definitely some thunderstorms down there. Here we've got a lot of just intensity with clouds, high clouds above it. I'm sure there's a thunderstorm or two in here that we have to keep an eye on. And I'll probably look at the lightning maps a little bit later too. As a matter of fact, let me pop that on here right now. Let's go to lightning maps. You guys probably know it if you've watched lightningmaps.org, and we'll take a look at how close any lightning is to Lafayette right now. And it's not real close at all. So there's not much in the northern portions of that. Here's Indianapolis, Lafayette being up here. And then down here is the lightning. It's still trying to catch up because I have so many maps open. Maybe my grandsons are starting to wake up. There is some lightning between Terre Haute and Indianapolis right now. But as for the northern sections of that system, not much there. And that's where you would go back, right? So here's Indiana. We're seeing a little bit of lightning right in here. That's where we're seeing it. But look where it's going at this moment. It appears to be going almost east. But that's the upper level clouds. The upper level clouds can be different in movement from what's underneath it, right? So the upper level clouds might be moving towards the east from the west, but the thunderstorms underneath might be moving from southwest to northeast, which is pretty common. This is very common to see this kind of thing. So don't be fooled into thinking, well, maybe there's no showers or thunderstorms out there. The potential looks to be there today. Just better than what we thought our chances were yesterday. Yesterday, we thought they were almost slim to none that we would get a severe thunderstorm in here. Today, Slim is still in the building, and he's still drinking a little bit. So we'll have to see how that goes. But thunderstorm chances are just a little bit more increased as we go through the morning hours this morning. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys to see where it is. Now let's pop on the radar on there, okay? Okay, so there's the showers, there's the thunderstorms. Indianapolis is here. Lafayette is right here. Okay, we can see some of the scattered showers up. What is that? Highway 55, Interstate 55, right? All along there, all along to the south too. Now towards Effingham, St. Louis, obviously Springfield, and now Champaign's getting into the mix too as we go through the morning here. And we can see this line of thunderstorms is kind of cut off from any, unstable atmosphere, but it is running into a cleaner atmosphere where it has some potential there. And then we're starting to already see some showers and thunderstorms form just to the south of us right now. And there's your big line of thunderstorms down south of Effingham down there as you're going down. And then south of St. Louis already has gone through, going over towards Memphis at this moment, where some of those thunderstorms are already popping into the mix for some of those folks. And let's get in a little closer. Let's first go back out to our satellite picture. Boom. Boom, Daddy. There you go. All right, now let's go into a subsector ring real close to Lafayette and see if we can see anything else in it. Okay, we can see Lafayette's right here now. All right, hopefully you can see that pretty easy. We can see how everything's falling apart up here, but down to the south, it's still together pretty well. But we're starting to see showers starting to form out in front of the system a little bit like we were expecting yesterday. And here it is. You can see it a little closer. Lafayette right here. It looks like Indianapolis over to Terre Haute, back over towards Crawfordsville right now. Anywhere in that little area, you're starting to pick up showers. And maybe a wrap of thunder or two like we saw on the lightning maps. up. So there it is right there. And then there you are with where most of the rain is right now, which is still back out towards our west and across the state line for most of us. I expect this little batch right here where you see the thunderstorms right in this area to start picking up a little bit. Showers, thunderstorms right in there, and this will fill in just a little bit. And so that'll eventually get up to Lafayette in the next hour to 2 hours, I would think, at the rate that it's moving at this point. And let's see if we can go in just one more shot all the way into the Indianapolis radar. There you go. Lafayette's right here. Hopefully you can see that pretty easily. Lafayette right there. And you can see scattered showers south. And I think there's a thunderstorm or two, a little lightning bolt or two in there. Some rain to the north, and then pretty good rains. And you notice what I said. Remember, we saw the clouds moving which way? West to east. But what are we seeing in the actual thunderstorms themselves? Look at this. They're moving to the northeast, we'll call it, or even just northeast. All right, so these tend to look like they're moving northeast. These look like they're moving a little northeast, but then there's a little wave in there that's trying to go to the northeast. All right, so that's a definite that's coming towards us right now. Now, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to erode on the northern sections for the thunderstorms, but it's something we definitely have to watch out for us today as we get closer and closer to the rain as it comes in. Let's see. I wanted to show you the Storm Prediction Center. Yesterday, this green blob was basically about just into Indiana, maybe almost to the center portion, over to the east, we'll call it the western portions of Ohio, and it was not elongated north-south. It was like just a blob right there, a bean, so to speak. Today, they've adjusted it over, and we are right on the edge, and that's because of the timing. The timing is later now, and so that means the thunderstorm potential for severe has moved itself towards the west a little bit for progression of timing. When it had it coming through at 6 o'clock this morning, that's a more stable time frame. Now it's got it coming through at 10 to 12 or so. Now we're starting to get more unstable. We get a chance for some severe weather, but it's on a limited basis, I would say, at this point. Hence, you see that when I go to it, wind is the only thing they're worried about in this. Not even worried about hail, not worried about tornadoes, just wind is potential for this. And then what happens tomorrow? Well, it turns into a nice day, and sure enough, 2 days out looks great too. So we are good on that front, at least right now, for the chances for any of the severe weather to pop up there, and for everybody in that kind of category. All right, and then here's the lightning. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. You see there are some strikes right there over by Champaign right now. There's Champaign-Urbana up to the north, so that's south of that, right? There you go. Here's Lafayette. There's Terre Haute right there. All right, so the lightning right now is between Terre Haute and Indianapolis, and then back over towards Effingham, Decatur, Urbana, the places to our southwest, and we'll keep an eye over here. When does something come towards Covington, maybe towards, down to the south towards Crawfordsville? That's when we'll start to worry about something getting in a little closer to us, right? So, but right now, everything's just to the south off of the charts there. All right, so there's your radar right now. Let's go see what's happening outside before we get to everything locally real quick. Okay, so we'd have to go out to Fowler. Fowler should have a good picture of this, right? Well, there you go. Look at this. Again, car count today, 1 on the Fowler camera. That's okay, though. I do see some spots of sunshine there. I'm believing right now that this is looking towards the south. You would think you would see more, but it's hard to say. I can't see shadows. So maybe it is actually looking towards the north. It says east on here. That's hard to tell because, and unfortunately in this one, we don't have any markers to give us some good heads up. But we do up towards Rensselaer, all right? We got some good ones. First, we got the construction still going there. Light traffic for the people watching the construction area if you're heading up there today. And then looking out over the bridge itself, you can see there are mixed clouds out here. You can see some stratiform, stratocumulus type clouds, some Q in there mixed in some high clouds above that. And then you have a beautiful picture at the 231 junction on this camera here. But we don't see much of the sky in the picture, unfortunately. We do see what? Dry road still, right? All right, so we're still looking good on that front. And then the Remington exit shows back. You can see some of the higher skies up there. You can see the clouds mixture of a little bit of everything. Still dry roads, though. No wetness out there yet. Same for looking back the other direction on 231. Everything high and dry, not much for cloud cover. Both cameras on 231 look the same on I-65. They look pretty dry and pretty good traffic. Now, State Road 18, a little closer in. Now we're getting brighter over here. You can start to pick up. This is a really good camera. I get a lot more sky in this one. And you can see, yet you can still see the road very well. We can see approaching clouds coming in from the that direction. Now the State Road 43 camera, we got to get on these guys. Hey guys, show us some of the sky too. And then State Road 25 looking back towards 43. I don't get much of a mix. You just get a haziness up there in the skies down here. Here we are starting to pick up a little bit on State Road 26, moving south on the interstate. Now we're looking north on the picture, but my pictures are starting in Remington and I'm going down towards the south. And we see a good mixture of clouds over Lafayette right now. And then the same kind of picture as you get down towards the Dayton exit and you're looking towards the south now, right? And I can see some of the buildups out here down towards the south. I do see some blue sky too, so there is some open spots, and we're picking up some shadows on the ground too there also. Down to Frankfort, looking high and dry, and actually a little bit of sun down there. You look both directions. Now you're looking back towards the sun, towards Frankfort itself. Frankfort off in the distance. You can see the skyscrapers, can't you, over there at Frankfort? I know you're laughing, Ray. Bill says, good morning. Sorry, a little late. Been busy on the compound. He's getting his compound ready for the end of the world. All right. So I hope you're having a good time, Bill. Ray says, opportunities to laugh. Thank you, brother. He says provides that. I hope so. I like to have a good time. I'm always liking to do that when I'm doing this. Let's look in town real quick. You see that it's pretty quiet in town. Traffic's good, yeah, but not much for cloud cover. You could see a mixture of stuff, but not a lot. And then we head down towards, let's go to the River Road one, right? Let's see if we can get it on there. There it is. It's still doing that vibration thing, right? All right, and then the people at the airport have pointed it straight down at the ground. That doesn't help us, does it? Maybe they're working on it today. It's hard to say. And then over towards the mall, pretty quiet. All these roads are dry right now. That's the good news. All right, let's get into the forecast and see where things are going to be. All right, I'm going to go straight to the 12Z right now because it does have at least 41% of the weather in, and I want to see what's going to happen close to us, right? I am going to switch it over to precipitation type, and what I'm interested in is any of these darker spots, right? The darker spots are going to be heavy showers or a thunderstorm potential, right? And here we are at 9 o'clock this morning. Now, yesterday, it showed this blob farther north up towards Lake Michigan, and it would have been over here to the east already, right? So you see how there's a big timing difference from yesterday. We're like almost 6 hours difference between the rain. So the rain is farther back towards the west, but it's not as potent in our area. It's a little stronger. It's impotent or impotent. Oh, that's where they got impotent, right? Yeah. All right. So it's lost a lot of its power. Let's see what happens here on the new run. This is the very new run. We're only going to get maybe 12 to 20 hours out of this. Let's see what happens. All right. It goes to the north. It's still kind of falling apart at 10 o'clock. You're seeing just a lot of scattered stuff with this thing. The big blob is to our south. I'm going to call it the big blob today. All right. All right. So here we are at 11, 12, 1. Okay, so 1 o'clock's really the first chance it starts to show showers near us. I'm going to say we still have a 20% chance before that of anything popping in through the area. We saw it on the radar, right? It's down there. It's just not that close to us right now. And then by 2 o'clock, there it is on top of us pretty good. 3 o'clock, there's your line of thunderstorms for later in the day. Good news, like I said, look at this. Rains to our south, cuts off some of the instability. It's already rained a little bit before these thunderstorms pop up. And then what happens? It goes through Lafayette around 5 o'clock this evening, right? There's that 4 to 5 o'clock time frame. The thunderstorms go through, and then just to our west, or east, they get even stronger and stronger. There you go. Boom, boom. And that's it for the thunderstorm chances. So it looks like instead of this morning, it's going to be this afternoon, and we're going to pinpoint a time right around 4 to 5 o'clock to really be a bad time for us right here, right? And then behind the system, does it leave a couple scattered showers? I think it does, right? It leaves a couple scatter showers behind the system a little bit, but very hit and miss. It clears out a lot quicker than it showed before, but it's later in the day now, so, maybe you got some yard work done this morning. A couple showers, there you go. By 1 o'clock in the morning, right, is when you're going to see some of those. Just all night has the potential. Okay, so the new model goes out to 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it shows that we're clearing out, and we're going to be pretty nice, all right, during the day tomorrow, as it looks, at least on this front. And that's not bad. So most of that rain, that big blob we're seeing there, is going to be south of us. But I would not be surprised if we're going to be hit quicker than 4 or 5 o'clock with a thunderstorm. It's just that shows a line of thunderstorm potential going through during that time frame. Matter of fact, let's hit the convective on there real quick and hit the lightning density on there and see what it says here. So here it says it doesn't even have a chance for us to get a thunderstorm this morning. And here we are about 2 o'clock. It starts picking up, right where that blob is. We see it, right? And there it is. By 5 o'clock, it's right on top of us. But what do you not notice here? I do not notice any, even of the second level of lightning density, or the third level where you start getting some colors. That's at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You see some of that density up here, lightning density, and all the lightning density is telling you that the thunderstorm is more intense. That's it. That's all it's showing you, right? And it's already out of here by about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. There you go. It's gone, right? So you're really only looking at the thunderstorm potential right here at 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It's gone. Now, I know there's baseball games out there and that. You're going to have to watch out for this because it does look enough like there's enough rain in it to rain out some of these ball games this evening. All right. And thunder and lightning to keep an eye on it. Good news, not really severe. We're not looking at the severe potential on there. Let's look at the temperatures, what's going to happen with this thing when it comes through, all right? So here we are this morning. Here we are at 10 o'clock. We're going to warm up, obviously, warming up nicely, getting up to right around 78 degrees. Now, that's going to hurt the intensity of the stability in the atmosphere around us. And I think what you're going to see is this potential for 78 is not there. Remember we were talking about 71? This model's showing 78. Has this updated over here yet to go to 78? It has not, so it's not using the entire HER yet, or it may wait till the whole run gets in before it changes. I'm not sure 78 is going to be a strong possibility. We're at 67 now. I do see us getting a little bit warmer, right, as we go through the day. But do we get to 78? It's going to be hard pressed because we're going to have lots of cloud cover over the top of us. We might get a shower through here. If a shower comes through earlier, like at 11 or 12, instead of waiting till 3 or 4 for most of the rain to come in, then our temperature won't get up there. But if it gets to 78, then we have a better chance for, a little bit more lightning. So there's a possibility there. That's going to be a big waiver, and it's all going to be dependent on where you are and how much rain you're getting or cloud cover you're getting. The farther north you are, the better chance that you'll get maybe into the upper 70s this afternoon, all right? So there you go. Then tomorrow, afterwards it goes through and then it tries to warm back up. It's, it pops us to 71, 74, and then back down. It's just rain induced there, but we're back into the low 60s overnight tonight. There we are. At 9 o'clock, it's 63 if you're out and about after the thunderstorms. 62 then as we get to 1 in the morning. And then by tomorrow morning, this thing goes out to, let's see, there's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. And 9 o'clock tomorrow morning as we go to the men's breakfast. It's just a nice, comfortable 54, which is some 10 to 12 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Let's see if it gets in any cooler on there on that front. 55, 56. Yeah, 54 looks to be around the low tomorrow at 8, 9 in the morning. And then we'll be doing the men's breakfast tomorrow night, just to give you the heads up on that. So we will be there on that front with that, trying to tap out and show you everything that's going on. All right, here we go. Let's take another look at the satellite and the radar. Now, see, you can see the scattered showers right here. In my mind, I'm telling myself there's no way we're not going to get one of these showers, right? At least one of these is going to pop up and come through. But we are on the edge of it, kind of right in this angle here, where we could just get missed here in Lafayette. But keep an eye on these right down here. That's where we got to watch out for. This stuff up here to the north, that's a Rensselaer, and that's a Gary issue, and LaPorte, and up near the lake issue. This stuff right here, which is for later this afternoon, right? Let's say it takes another hour and a half to get to the state line, and then it's another hour and a half to 2 hours to get up to us. You're talking 4 hours, so you're talking more like 1:30 to 2:30 for some of this potentially to get here. So I think we may see some of this erode on the north like it showed, and then it reestablishes itself for this afternoon. We'll have to see about that. This looks more like, to me, like they may come through a little earlier. This is a little closer. So be prepared a little earlier this afternoon than the late afternoons, just to be safe. That's what it looks like, at least right now. But you notice we're in between. We're parting the Red Sea again. Everything's to our south and to our east and to our southwest. And we have rain to our north. And look at little old Lafayette right in the middle. Not a thing to worry about, right? All right, so let's go back out on our sector selector here, and we'll go out a little bit bigger so we can see all the way down to Tennessee, see what's going on down there. Let's see, precipitation, winter, precipitation type. Let's go back down there real quick. Let's see what Bill's got. All right, Bill's in Nashville. Let's see what's coming at him right now. He knows it's coming. He knows it's coming. Look at it fall apart down there, too. Another little parting of the Red Seas down into Kentucky. But it does look like Bill's going to get some rain this afternoon into the evening hours. That'll be good for what he's got planted out in the yard, if he's got anything out there yet. And it kind of stays over you there, Bill, in the Nashville area there for a while, and then moves on and starts to clear out a little bit for you a little bit later in the period. Probably could be overnight. You could still see some rain there when you go through that. So that's something for Bill. Bill's down in Nashville, down in that area, and so that's where he's at it currently. All right, so let's go back here. Let's tack on and go all the way to the GFS, right? And see what the GFS has for us. Okay, so now the GFS this is the wider picture. It shows the parting of the Red Seas too, and us right here on the northern edge about this time of the day. Then it kind of gives us a chance for the thunderstorms in the afternoon. That's exactly what we were expecting. And then it kind of clears out and we look pretty good. What don't we see? Well, for one, the high that we were thinking about yesterday is now much farther up here to the north. All right. So it's way up there to the north at this point, and it's not something we've got to worry about, and it has less effect on us, right? Yesterday, I think the high was somewhere like this. They planted it somewhere like this for Saturday, right? A lot closer to us, maybe some clearer skies. That makes me wonder if we have a little bit of a change right in here as we go through the Lafayette area tomorrow, and that we may see a bit more of the cloud cover still left over from the system. Nothing really dramatic to worry about. Just the high's still in control. You can kind of see it's in control. It's just off the chart. It's kind of, it's still in the Lake Huron area though, right? So I think yesterday it moved it like this. Today it's moving it more like this, but still over Lake Huron by later in the period on Sunday. So this is all the way through Sunday already we've gone through here. I go through these pretty quick. Remember, the GFS is in 3-hour jumps when it goes. So let's put our time for, say you're going to church tomorrow morning. Looks good. All the way from Tennessee to Indiana, into Michigan, anywhere in the Midwest. No problems. Scattered shower here in Ohio, maybe eastern Kentucky if you're heading out there going to see some family or something. All right? Because you could get there overnight tonight or today. So here we are on Monday now. Monday, this is the next approaching system, and this looks like a gully washer other than what? I see a big opening right here. All right, so here's our low back here. All right, so let's see if we can pinpoint some of this stuff. First off, there's a trough up here. Now, whether that was a warm front at one time or another, it's hard to tell, but you can see where it is. Is it an old cold front and then extending into a warm front into the low, and then the low has a cold front going down here? And is there a warm front right in this little nose that you see right there? Hard to tell because there's precipitation right above that here. I think that could be where the warm front is, and we'll have to see. And then there's just some scattered showers south of it. But let's see how this moves along here. That is Monday, all right, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then by here we go, 8 in the evening, we have a good line of thunderstorms here on Monday night into Tuesday. And so that would be the that would be the fourth day on the Storm Prediction Center thing. And we'll have to look at that because the timing is late in the day into the evening, right? And the thunderstorm activity looks very intense, especially from, say, Milwaukee down to Champaign, and we are right here. Okay, so that's coming in on us right about 8 o'clock in the evening. And you can see how the timing differences can be because today's forecast almost totally changed because of the timing. And then it kind of washes through us by 11 o'clock. Okay, so now here I can draw in some of the things pretty easy. Okay, so there's a cold front back here, right? Now, there's a warm front right up in here. You can see pretty easily. There looks like there's a trough trying to build right in this area. And so in front of that, we have rain, right? And then it's kind of a dry spot. And then we have another low possibly trying to form down here near Nashville, actually in the Arkansas area for those of you out there. And there's rain just above that too. And then there's rain associated with the low back off to the north. And this is what time? This is 11 o'clock on Monday night going into Tuesday. And it goes through pretty quick, but look at this. It leaves a lot of showers behind overnight, Monday night. Does look like a Monday night feature, though. And then during the day, we see some of this because you're going to have this cold air coming around here. Stratus, this is that kind of sprinkly, foggy look kind of feel you're going to have from that when it goes through. And that may last through Tuesday right now. So that's something to keep in mind there. But look at this. Hey, look at where the 540 line drops down to by Wednesday morning. All right. By Wednesday morning, it's down near us. So it's going to be pretty chilly next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it looks like, as we get there. Now, Tuesday may be warm because the system's coming in, but then Wednesday, Thursday gets chilly. Now, look at this Thursday, heading into Thursday morning. Look at that. The 540 line is south of us. All right. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. There you go. 8 o'clock in the morning on next Thursday, you got the 540 line right here. That means colder air over here, warmer air over here, right? And generally, this is a rough estimate of how thick the atmosphere is to support freezing temperatures. And Lafayette is right here. Nashville, you're down here, so you're good. All right, so there you got that system moving through. Bill's saying, I think he said we need it. I think he's talking about the rain, right? Probably. Okay, but we got a high right here building in, so we're doing pretty good, at least on this front. Hence the reason we're getting such cold temperatures. And we're going to see that on this long range for this time frame. We're going to see that there's cold weather coming in with this one. Why? Because the flow is right here. All right, it's just like that. So any cold air that was up here, and if you remember, I think if you were watching yesterday, we saw that there were 30-degree temperatures and some low 30s below freezing up there in Michigan and Wisconsin for next week. And so if we tap into some of that, there's going to be potential there. And if the skies clear out too, right, which happens a lot now that we're a day or two behind that next system. So here we are on Thursday. There's not much happening. There's a high right here. Okay, bam. So, but we've got a unorganized mess of stuff out here. I don't see a frontal boundary. I see places where there could be little lows. Very unorganized system. Let's see if it organizes itself and gets itself going. Okay, that's Thursday, looking pretty good for us. See, it all falls apart. And then that 540 line is hanging right around us for Friday morning too. With some scattered, very light stuff around us. So there's a big high up here to the north. That's suppressing a lot of this systems to the south a bit, is my guess at this point. And so the flow is still around here, but it's not able to get to Lafayette at least next Thursday and Friday, other than the light rain on Thursday, I think, is in there. All right, so Friday, now we're into Saturday, and the high has now come from Canada down to here, all right? And so we're starting to see some of the effects from that. And then there we go. We start to get onto the warmer side. We start to see a low to the south. We're starting to get more of a flow coming back up this direction now from the south. and we start to get a little bit, or southeast, and we get a little bit warmer, I think, for a while there. But now here we are out to Monday into Tuesday, May 5th. All right, so now we're a week and a half out, guys. All right, so what is today? Friday? Yeah, we're a week and a half out. So here we go. And then, bam, we bring in a line of showers and thunderstorms. May 6th, this is during the early morning hours, May 6th, it brings something through. But at least that's a decent system, and look what happens right behind it. Here comes the cold air, right? So the low is up here. All your flow is right here. Boom, 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 right towards us, right? So all your cold air wants to come around the backside. Look how far that 540 line drops at 11 o'clock Wednesday night, going into Thursday. And definitely some potential there for very cold temperatures. May 7th, so below freezing, at least at this point, is the potential there for it. Does it last very long? It doesn't last real long, okay, on that front. It goes through pretty quick. We kind of rebound, but it looks like all these temperatures are below normal. Now, we haven't changed much on our actual thought process for what the temperatures are going to be. We said this week was going to be hot. Next week will be closer to normal, and then it might be below normal the following week. A lot of that still looks like it's staying there temperature-wise. Now let's switch over to the temperatures and see what we can do with that. I'm going to switch to the surface charts. All right, bam, temperature, there we go. All right, so we're going to start with today. Well, this is Saturday it's showing. What's it say for today? It's showing us around 66, 72 maybe. There's a little pocket of warmth right in here on this. And I think I'll go in closer so we can see the temperatures a little easier on this. There we go. So 66, it shows a pocket of 70s. This is more likely here for what I see for today than what the HER has on it. But, you know, the HER has been pretty accurate lately, so can't complain on that front. Although it messed up today, didn't it? Didn't get that one close at all. All right, so here we go. We're going through the temperatures overnight through tomorrow morning, and it does show the potential for us to get to like 49 tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Right there, Lafayette is 49 degrees. We can see the flow is straight off the lake, which makes me think there'll be some cloud cover right in here too, right? Not only will it drag some of the temperatures from the north down to us, but it may bring some cloud cover with it too, if it's directly north like that. Now, if it's a little more this direction, and the cloud cover tends to do this. If it's a little more here, the same thing. You see the cloud cover like that, right? So that's where you'll see it. So right now it does show it straight down the lake to us, and that looks like that's a strong possibility of 49, 40, right around 50, let's call it tomorrow, give or take 2 degrees, depending on where you are at. The rebound tomorrow on this shows us into the low 70s, which is pretty consistent, right? I could see that pretty easily. This tells me we're getting some clearing off, but look at this. You still see the effects of the lake. Just, 5-10 miles offshore of Lake Michigan, it's only 42 degrees. And then you get into that's Valpo, I think, right? 54 degrees right there, 57 over South Bend, right? So Benton Harbor is only 50 degrees into the afternoon hours tomorrow, where we're so far away, we're now getting our effects from the south more. Even though the wind's coming from the north, we've got to see some sunshine into the afternoon tomorrow. So those clouds don't hang on that long tomorrow, it looks like. When we go through it, Sunday morning, all right, you're heading off to church Sunday morning, 47 degrees. Not too bad. That's about normal for this time of the year. So we're at least close to normal there. Then we rebound again, but not nearly as warm on Sunday as it will be tomorrow still. All right, so we get some of that cooler air filtered back into here. Monday, we're back into the 70s, which is above normal, but still not that far now. Remember, by the latter portions of April, our highs are in the upper 60s by that time frame. So 70s there. And then Tuesday morning, 52. Then we have a system running through. Remember, we had that coming through. Here we go. We're starting to reinforce some of the cold. What do we see? A high on Wednesday next week of only like 55, with a low in the low to mid 40s. So close to normal to below normal temperatures next Wednesday, right? And then it looks like a lot of the low temperatures are going to be below normal. Here's Thursday morning next week. It's 40, a pocket of 34 just to our north there on that front. with that system after it goes through. This is before it even shows the colder temperatures coming in the following week. So this is next Thursday. We rebound pretty decent. We got 60s out here, though. That's all you're seeing. Upper for us, 56 right there. Lafayette's right there. So in case you haven't seen it, Lafayette's right here, Crawfordsville. You go over here, Logansport, right? You go over here, Rensselaer. That's what you're seeing on this chart. And then, of course, you can get Danville right there. Go down to Indy, Terre Haute. And what's that place called down there that we don't like? Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever. All right, so let's head back on to it. We look at it when we go into Friday morning. We see Friday morning next week, we're down in the low 40s. We should be in the mid to upper 40s now by May 1st, okay? And we should have highs in the upper 60s. But we're going to be seeing temperatures far below normal there. Look at that. Friday next week only gets to 55. And then you got a low overnight somewhere in the 30s, upper 30s. So each of these nights we'll have to start watching out. Again on Saturday, only into the low to mid 50s. With a low overnight in the 30s again. Well, right at it, 41. Actually shows it. Look at this. Big pocket down in Kentucky into the, looks like freezing, close to freezing right down there. So they'll be pretty close. And then we warm up just a little there. We've got a temperature somewhere in the mid 60s on Sunday next week. And still warm. And then I think there was that one system coming in on Tuesday, right? So let's keep an eye on it. There's 63 on Monday. Look at that. Monday warms up back up to around 70. May 4th, though. Not this Monday, a few days from now, a week and a half from now. And then let's see what happens with the next system when it comes through, all right? We're 65 on Tuesday in the morning. That's warm. Gets to 72. That's the in advance of the front. Now, you can see where the front is coming through, right? You can see it. They may draw it in here, a secondary trough back here, or they might draw the front back here. But you can see that there's a pocket of cold coming behind the rain that we were looking at earlier on this shot for next Tuesday, May 5th. May 5th, all right? The temperatures come in, they crash down. So we think, how many days? 2 days after the front goes through is when the coldest air usually gets here. Let's see if that is good for that. Oh, man, I see the word Bloomington, but can call them national champions. That's why I stayed away from saying it, because I knew Bill was on the line, all right? That's okay. He was rooting for Purdue in the tournament, in the basketball tournament. I know he was, because he didn't have anybody else to root for. Okay, national champions, though. I was rooting for Indiana for the national championship. Sorry, guys. I'm an Indiana grown guy. I'm going to root for Indiana teams. Purdue over Indiana? Yes. But Indiana for national championship? Let's go Indiana. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's see what that cold looks like the following week. All right, so that Wednesday, it's a high of only like 51 right after that front goes through. And then the next morning, there you go, there's a 38 in here. That's not too bad, really. 38 in the early morning hours. And then we're back up to around 55 during the day on Thursday. So it's not showing that real cold pocket, but it does show temperatures below normal during that whole period for the following week, right? So here we are, like way out on Saturday morning, May 9th, and it shows a low somewhere around 47 in the morning, which would be about 5 to 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year, getting into May. All right, so colder into May it looks like right now. As we take a look at it. Let's go back out real quick, though. Let's see what we're seeing on the radar right now. And you can see the radar showing the showers. And like I said, we need to watch down here, right? This is the pocket where we're watching for some of those thunderstorms that come in. I know the model says still later in the day, like 4 o'clock, but look at you. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there's a batch of rain right there that has potential to come right up to Lafayette. And it's an hour to the state line. It's another hour and a half or so to us, give or take. On current speeds and close. That's the averages, right? But what if there's a shower or two that forms out in front of there? So let's call it 3 hours. Let's go noon to 2, right? Somewhere between noon and 1 o'clock, actually, we should see something from some of this right here, I would think, with Lafayette being right there, all right? So if you're topographically challenged, I am not. There you go. There it is. These showers over here, obviously, these are heading towards Rensselaer potentially there. Might catch the end of it. I do see some loss. You see the intensity behind this falling apart. So while the model says we'll have this may come to the north and then reform as another form of thunderstorms, we still got to watch out for these showers right here, right? There's not much for lightning in this at all. Let's switch over to that chart. Where's the lightning map at? See if we're starting to pick up any more yet. All right. So here it is. It's still showing it down towards Terre Haute, right? Most of the lightning strikes, Lafayette way up here to the north, and you're starting to see lightning strikes between Terre Haute and Indianapolis, and then there's some stuff back down towards Effingham, right? Way down towards the south. But we're not getting any lightning out of any of that stuff here, right? Which we got to go, well, actually we got to go, what was it, an hour and a half to the state line. There we go, get ourselves straightened out. So this thing has a while to get here, but it does look like it has potential. And I could easily see that it falls apart too, and then reorientates and does pop up at like 3 or 4 this afternoon right over the top of us, which is what the model is kind of showing. But we do need to be prepared. Good news, we're not really seeing much for lightning out of any of this right here, right? So it's looking good, at least on that front for us at the moment. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at any of the. What do we have here? Anybody? Let's take a look at the shots for the cameras and look down towards the south here. Let's go back out to the map. See what they're seeing down towards Lebanon and stuff. See if anybody's getting any rain there that we can see. Okay, still dry there near Lebanon at the moment, right? And you can see traffic really heavy. Don't go towards Indianapolis today. Heavy traffic, despite what's coming towards them. But then let's look. What about Jamestown? I think there was a shower or two there. Looks like the road's wet there, doesn't it? Looks like a little bit of water there. Something's come through. They've had a little bit of a shower near Jamestown, it looks like. For us, closer back home, we don't want to get too far away from Lafayette on this front. What about Covington? I don't think they've seen anything yet. Roads still look dry. Maybe a little wetness there. Maybe they took a little shower somewhere in there. Looks like a little wetness in that one spot. How about towards Terre Haute? South of Greencastle, it says Cloverdale on it. Yes, I see some wet pavement there too, so they've taken a good shower. You can see a lot of water down on this spot down there in the underneath the viaduct, so to speak. Isn't that a song? Under the viaduct, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, under the viaduct, dun-dun. Oh, no? You guys. And then let's go way down towards Terre Haute, south of Terre Haute, Sullivan, definitely some rain down there. So you can see there is rain around the area. Rain is on the pane, but nowhere near Lafayette at the moment. Let's go down to the Fowler shot again. Hey, Fowler count 1, 2, I'll give it 3. That's a big one today. Yesterday we had a 0 on there when we looked at it. That looks like someone walking in the grass. Is that me, or is that maybe it's part of the ditch? We'll keep an eye on that for future uses, all right? So there you go, out to Fowler, nothing there. And then that beautiful Terre Haute shot. No, that's not the one. That's the Covington one. Where's that Terre Haute shot I like? Oh, no, that's just get me into the town. I don't want to do that. Let's go back out. Come on, back out. Well, I don't know how to get out of that. I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Oh, still looking good in Terre Haute. It comes back out to the map. Let's go out. All right, and then back up towards Lafayette. And Lafayette is high and dry, looking good. 26 right now. We see a mixture of clouds, but the roads are dry. Traffic's not too bad in the Lafayette area right now as the rain comes in from the southwest for us as we go through the day today. Let's see how much more the model's picked up now. Let's go back to the HER and see what it looks like on the 12Z. And we've got a few more hours on here. I'm going to switch it back over to the rain so we can see what's going on. And then we can see that. So this is after everything's passed by tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's got much for us. It looks like we're pretty good. Let's take a look at the cloud cover associated with this. So here comes the rain, right? And it's got it pretty close to where it is right now. This being, what is this, 16Z? This is noon. So it's actually right in here right now, isn't it? And we're seeing that. We're kind of seeing that right there. And you go back an hour, 15Z, that's 11. So, right here kind of looks what we have right now, but it's 10 o'clock. It's closing in on 10 o'clock, and this looks like what it shows at noon. So maybe the time is 2 hours off, so that, that noon to 2 time frame where we were talking about, like there's your noon time frame, maybe that shower coming through. And then there's that batch moving out to our east. I think we're off a couple hours on the timing, and it's going to be here a little sooner. So be prepared for that, all right? Be prepared for what is going to be happening this afternoon. Like I said, the radar tells me it's going to be quicker than what this is saying. All right, so there's that. But let's go farther out on that. Like we said, we went through there. I wanted to look at cloud cover real quick afterwards. Let's see, clouds, wind gust. Not on there, is it? Average cloud cover, there it is. Okay, so obviously we know it's really cloudy today, right? We see lots and lots of clouds. Let's see how it clears this off after the system. Okay, here we are going through tomorrow. There's tomorrow morning. All right, we're still overcast in Lafayette, but I see lots of open sky right back here, right? Just scattered clouds, and that's pretty normal. The lows over here, we get this pocket. You can almost draw around it every single time. You can just take it and you can go like this, and there'll be clouds through this area after a low exits over here, right? So it's pulling all this stuff down, and we see this a lot in the winter, clouds that hang on along. But now that we're pushing into spring and heading towards summer, this falls apart a lot quicker than it did. Where in the winter, as you know, we can go 2-3 days and we'll be in this pocket of clouds. And this edge will just slowly edge towards us. And 2 days later, it finally clears us. And boom, the next system's coming in by then, right? And we've been in that gloomy winter type look with a couple flurries here and there, that kind of thing. All right, let's see what happens, though. This is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, then we got 9 o'clock. We're trying to clear out. We're trying to go scattered. 10 o'clock. There are few to scattered clouds by that point. Okay, so clear is clear skies. You don't expect any clouds. Few is like 1/8 of the sky is covered. All right, scattered is that 2 and 3 and 4/8 coverage, right? And then broken is 5, 6, and 7/8 coverage, and overcast is 8ths. So that's how they break it up, right? So clear means clear, no clouds, right? Up over here, 0 clouds in that area they're expecting, right? Overcast is totally covered by clouds, nowhere, you can't see the sky, right? Okay. Few means just like 1/8, so very few clouds for this area. Then scattered is a little bit more, but not quite half, right? So that's what you see in this one. And then you get to the broken right there. Broken is more than half, but not total. That's how you get to the sky cover. That's how you can read these few scattereds, overcast, those kind of things. Okay, Lafayette's in the few right now by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then 11 o'clock is good, 12. We stay scattered, so it clears the clouds out tomorrow. That means a warmer day for us, and that means potential for warmer skies. And you could draw the line now at this point where it kind of was. But a few to scattered clouds for us tomorrow during the day. We'll see what happens with that. All right, I don't want one of those gloomy days. I like Saturdays that are nice, right? All right, then we go through the day into the evening hours, and we're still looking pretty good, just a mix of clouds here or there. Matter of fact, there's some clouds, coming in from the east. Then we become overcast Saturday night, and you notice we're just on the edge. If you're down in Crawfordsville, you're going to be fine. If you're in Lafayette, you're overcast. So we'll have to see where they draw this line as it gets to that time frame. That seems kind of obnoxious that it's always right near us, right here. Right? It couldn't be up here and be easy for me to say, hey, it's going to be few to scattered. No, it's got to be right next to us, where we could be overcast or we could be few for Sunday morning. All right. Let's see what this thing is saying for Sunday morning temperatures, though. All right. Let's go into the temperature. There's 48 Sunday morning. This is at 7 o'clock, right? Oh, the new hour's in. Let's see what happens. There we go. So 47, 48 Sunday morning as you head out to church. In our local area right now is what we are looking for Sunday morning. Not too bad at all. I wanted to hit one more thing, then I'll hit just currents real quick. Cubs have won 9 games in a row. Just swept the Philadelphia Phillies, who look awful at this point. But, hey, whoever's in front of you, right? 9 games in a row. Bill and I are not even old enough to remember the last time the Cubs won 9 games in a row. And we've been around forever. As Cubs fans, that is. All of us Cubs fans, we know what it's like. All right? This team looks good. Pitching's going to be a problem because so many guys got hurt. All right. But the other guys are coming in and doing a good job so far. So there's my Cubs update for you guys. All right. All right. I'll start wearing the Cubs hat here pretty soon. Gonna have to get the marquee. I'm waiting on marquee because I know what's gonna happen. The moment I get marquee, they'll start losing. So I'm not gonna do that. Pastor Billy knows he's a Cubs fan. He doesn't want me to get marquee because he thinks they'll start losing. All right, it's up to 69 degrees outside right now. You can see the radar and the future radar that they show on this chart right here going through. Current temperature in Kokomo 69, Joliet 65, Fort Wayne 70, a little warmer over there. This 71 is subject to change depending on the showers. I like the 71 to maybe 73 better than the one model showed 78 for us later. We would have to clear out a lot of that rain before we would ever get to that temperature. All right, so at this point. And when we look at the radar right now, there's a lot of stuff coming in. So with cloud cover coming in, rain coming in, it's going to be hard pressed to get much warmer than the 71 to 73 in the next couple hours because then it's going to start raining shortly thereafter, right? So the model still thinks most of the rain for Lafayette is 4 o'clock, and I'm saying you're going to be in rain by noon to 2, right? So with this coming, even progression looks even faster. Look, it's already approaching the state line, right? Right in here. So that's only about an hour and a half to 2 hours away, so that puts it noon, right? So if this stays together, now I can see that it's a little awkward down here. Can I move this up a little bit? I can't. Okay, there we go. We can see it running through. So down south of there, there's not much, right? So it is leading to the fact where it may fall apart and then rebuild itself. But we can't guarantee that we're not going to get some of the rain showers from some of this here in the next hour or two, right? Look you even see some building out in front of it, right? Okay, so that's the good news. And the other great news is there's no lightning in it as of right now. All right, here's the lightning map. There's Terre Haute. There's those 3 lightning strikes that showed like a half hour ago already. They haven't gone off the map yet, and there's nothing in between. And as you head to the south, there's nothing either. So I'm going to update this, make sure that we're not losing out something. But we're good, yeah, at this point. So something to keep in mind there. And then the Storm Prediction Center says we have a slight risk today for those thunderstorms coming through. And then remember, we were looking at that big storm. Oh, that's right. I can't change the page here on this. All right, so let's go here. Oops. Day 2 means we were good, and 3 was good, right? Well, let's see what day 4 looks like. There it is. Yep, that's the one we were looking at. We knew the next big storm was coming in on the 4th, right? Okay, so there is going to be a pretty big batch. And the timing for us was late afternoon into the evening, like 8 o'clock, right? So look at where they've put everything at this point. That would be Monday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I got it. I got to do it on my fingers. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm a Marine. Come on. Where's my crayons? Right. All right. So, so Monday looks like some potential. We'll have to watch out for Monday. A much bigger and broader day for severe weather for us. That's your daddy storm right there. That's one that's got some punch to it right there. And the timing is right for us to get into some of that severe weather. Although they've got us on the edge right now. All right. We'll see what happens as we get closer to that time frame and that period. Wow, that's it. A whole hour of talking weather, laughing, cracking jokes, talking to you guys on the chat, which I love. If you get in on here, get in on the chat. Also, go to my YouTube page and sign up for the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff that we like to hear. I'm still not on Facebook because I still don't have 100 people into the Let's Talk Lafayette web page or Facebook page. They tell me I have to have 100 before they'll allow me to go live on Facebook. All I can do on Facebook is put a link to it to go to the YouTube page. Well, I'd like to do both at the same time, right? That way we got it covered both ways. So I still need some people to sign up on the Facebook page, the Lafayette, Let's Talk Lafayette Facebook page, so that we can talk and eventually get full-time on Facebook too. Going to keep doing this. I'm enjoying it. You guys are getting in on here. I'm slowly picking up people. We're well over 30, I said, like on Facebook right now. I do not know what it is on YouTube. I think YouTube it's over 30 also, so looking pretty good on that front. All right. So that's it. One last shot, 69 degrees. You got to come back into me and go, oh my gosh, what are we looking at that old man for? All right, 69 degrees, mostly cloudy skies out right now. We do have approaching rain. It's going to mess up some of your afternoon hours. No matter what you're doing, be prepared for that. Maybe a shot of lightning here or there. Bill says he's on his way to Facebook. That's great to sign up there. He signed up with me on Facebook because we're friends. Close friends, brothers, basically. So you brothers that I have out there, you know that, all right? All right, and you know who you are. He's one of them, right? No matter what. Thick and thin, I'm there for him, quick, and that's the way it works. And then I got my buddies here in town now, too, right? And you know who you are, right? Ray, Roger, you guys, Steve, a couple of you guys out there, Pastor Billy. I know he's a lot younger than me, but he's still one of my buds, all right? All right, let's get it over with. Let's say a quick blessing on Friday here. I want to bless every single one of you over this weekend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the love of your family. Enjoy the love of everyone around you. If things go bad, focus on God and ensure that He will be there along with you in every step that you are going through that you may be struggling with. Depression, alcohol, whatever it might be that you are struggling with, God is there with you. And I ensure that if you step forward and you ask for Him to be in your life, He will be there with you for the rest of your life. And that's something to be confident in and something to enjoy. So I have all those blessings to pour out on each and every one of you. And in God's glorious name, we say amen. All right, guys, that's it for this furious free-for-all Friday. I will see you again on Monday, barring some type of severe weather event popping up, which only looks like it's going to be Monday now. It could be a busy Monday. We'll have to check back then. You guys have a great weekend. I am out.